Hey guys, it's Shalina from That Kinder Girl, and I just kind of wanted to get on today and kind of do like a little bit of a, I guess, a life update and a where have I been type video. I have not filmed since our very last day of school, which was almost a month ago, and it's not for any other reason than this summer has been absolutely insane. I have spent just about every Monday of this summer at the doctor's office with my children. The first Monday, well, let me back up. The first weekend, Grayson had a pretty high fever and kind of wasn't sure if it was just going to be a one-day event or more than that. He was exposed to strep throat earlier in the week, that first week of summer. We kind of spent a day at my sister's and her little boy had strep and he had been exposed, spiked a really high fever the weekend after that, and knowing he had been exposed to strep, I didn't want to chance it, so that Monday morning took him to the doctor. Everything was fine. Blood work was fine, strep test was negative, ears and throat, everything looked good. So it must have been just a 24-hour thing, or fighting off a virus or something, but he was fine after that. We spent that week every night driving an hour to my sister's church and took my kids to Vacation Bible School, which they so enjoyed. They loved it so much. And then after that week, that Saturday, my husband and I went with our church and took a trip to Kentucky and saw the Ark Encounter. And if you've never heard of that, it's the recreation of Noah's Ark, and it's a life-size model of the Ark, and it just kind of gives a lot of information and background, and it's just amazing. And if anybody ever has the opportunity to go, you should definitely do it. And I really thought that day that I could maybe do kind of a day in the life vlog, but there was just no way with the way that the tour of that was set up. It was just kind of a read, you read a lot and you didn't talk a lot, so I didn't really video that day. But my mom texted me that day and said Grayson had another fever and it was pretty high. So we got home that night and Grayson was still running a fever, so he did not go to church with us Sunday. To back up just a little bit more, my parents spent a week at our house because they still do not have their house yet. It's not completed and they have not moved in yet, so they lived with us for a week, which was interesting to say the least. I love having my parents there and they're a big help with my kids, but I know they're ready to get in their home, and so they stayed with us. So we left Grayson home with my dad on Sunday morning while we went to church, took Bella to church. She was running a fever and ran a fever the rest of the day. So on Monday of last week, took both of my children to the doctor, and ended up that day they both had strep throat, they both had ear infections, and they were both pretty sick. So we spent the next few days just taking care of the kids, staying home, just getting them back to normal. Last Friday, my husband and I went to Charlotte, North Carolina. He goes every year to an annual comic book convention because he's an avid comic book reader, collector, and we go there every year. And I thought last weekend I might vlog a little bit of our 3-day weekend at a comic book convention, and then I thought y'all probably don't want to see that. So I didn't do any vlogging. We spent the weekend with my nephew and his new wife. They got married that's another thing that happened on June 3rd. My nephew, one of my favorite people in the world, he got married to his high school sweetheart, and it was amazing and beautiful. And we spent the weekend with them at the comic convention because Tyler and Adam have a lot in common in that area, and so now I have a friend. So Sarah, his wife, has joined us in our yearly adventures in Charlotte, and so we went to that. Didn't do any videoing or anything because I just didn't know how many people would actually be interested in seeing any of that, because it's just walking around and more often than not just enjoying the people in their costumes, and we stand in line a lot. He gets his comic book signed and things like that. But anyway, so then we get back from Charlotte. We've had a pretty low-key week this week. Monday, my good friend Brandy came down and we talked a little bit about our Vacation Bible School that's coming up in 2 weeks. Did a little bit of planning for that. Didn't really do much. Wednesday, helped my mom and dad clean up their trailer, wipe down walls and floors and everything because they're getting ready to move in. And then yesterday and today I have been at a workshop for 2 days. Tennessee has revised their standards, and so we've been at a standards revision workshop, and not really much I can vlog about there. So really, it's been a crazy summer so far. Not really much to film. I mean, other than doctor visits, and I mean, we've done a couple of things here and there, but I just really haven't felt like it's anything that, number one, I could film, number two, that you might be interested in. So that's kind of where I've been. Not really done much schoolwork, not really done much shopping for school, just kind of spending time with my children and taking care of them, because for some reason they waited till summer break to get sick. So that's just kind of what I've been doing, and just not been around much, not been around much to film or to vlog. I've had some ideas for some videos. I had planned to do a 10 tips for new teachers video, and I had planned to do a behavior management, or like your behavior management plan, tips for good classroom management type video. I plan to do like what I'm reading this summer as far as professional development. However, I've not done any of my reading yet because I've just not had time. My kids have been very needy and very they've not slept well because they've not felt good. So I've really not had a lot of time to do any of that yet. And I have had plans. I have wanted to get back to filming, but since I got to my workshop a little bit early this morning, I thought, well, maybe I could just jump on here real quick and just kind of give you all an update. I've missed filming. I've missed vlogging and just sitting down and just talking, and I don't know how many of you have been expecting and waiting for a video from me. Probably nobody, but that's beside the point. So anyway, here for day 2 of our revised standards workshop. We've got a really interesting presenter, which has made the 2 days not seem as long. It's definitely not boring. So hopefully maybe next week, when things get back to normal, now that my kids are healthy, I can get back to a regular schedule of some sort and do some videos for you guys. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here and get into my workshop, but if you guys are still with me and excited to see anything that I might have coming up, give this video a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, which lately there's not been much to miss. But I do promise that once school does start back in a month, we only have like 25 days left of summer, but when school starts back, I go back August 2nd. I do promise to get back to vlogging and doing my classroom setup video and kind of a lesson planning video, that kind of thing. So if there's anything you would like to see, just leave it in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful summer, and I will talk to you guys soon.